Hello and welcome everybody. Good afternoon. This is Doyle Bueller coming to you from Perth. As I mentioned, my name is Doyle Bueller. I run a strategic digital marketing consultancy where we are creating real-time, connected, and adaptive digital challenger brands in this disruptive, shifting digital economy. And I'm author of the book as well on digital breakthrough, which takes these challenger businesses on their business-changing digital expedition. And I'm your CEO, the Chief Expedition Officer, helping you plan, navigate, and deliver online. Hope everybody's doing okay. This is the 10-minute teach, and today I'm going to be talking about building that digital trust, more so from the business side. There's personal trust and there's business trust, and we need to be able to look at how do we actually build that digital trust as well. And I'm going to share with you 3 simple things that really show you how you can actually build trust for your audience to be able to for your business to grow in this shifting economy as well. We've often heard the expressions know, like, trust, right? This is how we grow your business typically. And there's a few other factors as well that we need to consider, right? Number one, we're in front of our audience 24/7, yet we're at the point of zero trust. And there's a reason for that, and that is that most people really kind of are getting more and more skeptical, and even more so now with what we do and how we do it and that sort of thing. So people are really judging, for lack of a better word, constantly. And when you're typically one click of the mouse away from your competitor, you really need to be able to understand how you can build that trust to grow the business, to understand what you're looking for and how to be able to do that as well. So really looking forward to sharing this with you. Like I said, I've got pretty long. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask below during the live session now, or if you're in replay, just hashtag replay with your questions. And I've got some cool prizes at the end for the best question. So looking forward to it. So I'm just trying something different up, wanting to, not just show a presentation of PowerPoint. We don't want to be killed by PowerPoint, death by PowerPoint on Zoom or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to draw a few things on the old-fashioned whiteboard. All right, let's get into it. Just got to adjust this so that we get into this properly. So hopefully everybody can still hear me okay. What I want to talk about is developing trust in your business, right? And I'm talking about business trust. And there is a difference. And the reason why is that people do obviously need to know you, right? They need to know, like, and trust you. Now, if we're looking at it from the business side, obviously with a lot of people doing sort of the personal branding side of things where you are the business, that's perfectly fine. But what we still need to look at is how do we actually convey that in that sense of the business as well. So that's really important. And I'm going to get into that shortly. But first things first, know, right? What is know? Well, this is simply your content, right? People get to know you by what you're talking about, what you're saying, what you're being able to produce, how you're able to produce it, and that sort of thing, whether it's videos, whether it's audio, whether it's written, whether it's, workshops, you name it, right? Knowing you is knowing your content, right? The next one is like. And what this is do people like you? Can people connect with you as well? And we've obviously heard this a lot, but this is about being authentic, right? If we're authentic, if we know what we're talking about, if there's that deep understanding that this person is telling me something that I need to know or that's important and conveys the sense of it as well, that's your authentic self. I'm obviously not going to get into this in too much detail because I only have 10 minutes. But the last one is trust. And as I said before, this is your business trust. And if we look at it, there was a great study done by Google called the 0 Moment of Truth. And that took a study and said that it takes 4 hours, 11 touch points, and 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4 channels to be able to build enough trust. Okay, so how do we actually build that trust then? This is what I want to show you next. So quickly erase this. As I said, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. I can't actually monitor the questions. Actually, I probably can. If you do have any coming in, please feel free to ask. All right. Okay, cool. So there's three core concepts with business digital trust. The first one is privacy. The second one is permission. I don't know about you, but I have a hard so I like to stand right like this, but then nobody else can see. All right, permission, privacy, permission, and then the third one is personalization. Personalization. Did I spell that right? Personalization. Cool. If we're looking at these from a beautiful Venn diagram, one of my favorite pieces of my favorite drawing tool ever is a Venn diagram, because we can actually see concepts very quickly and very clearly. If we are able to factor this in, what we're looking at is our trust quotient. And this is really important because this is what people judge us on over time. And we need to be able to develop that over time so that people can trust us. In terms of privacy, how are we treating our customers' privacy? Do we care about it? Do we have systems in place to be able to administer it? Be dealing with that. And can our customer trust us that the data and information that we provide will be held in high regard, and that your company will not abuse it? We also need to have permission. Okay, that marketing email that you sent once a week or once a month or whatever the case may be, do you have permission to send that, right? And if you don't, then you shouldn't be sending it. And that's a way of eroding trust. If you're sending communication, if you're sending emails, if you're sending stuff that people didn't ask for specifically, you're eroding your trust. And the last one is personalization. And this, I don't mean having your name, Doyle, on the pen right here. This is personalized pen, right? Or a jacket or whatever the case may be. Personalization in the digital age is really about that digital experience, right? That digital journey that we're taking them on. It's a personal journey. And can we reflect the data, the information that customer and customers like them are able to understand and see and tell and that sort of thing? So personalization is really, really key, because that's what allows us to be able to produce a platform, which I'll get into shortly, produce a platform that actually allows people to connect directly with your customer. If you're taking them on a personal journey, it's so much different than getting thrown in a tour bus and taking them to destination E, or you jump on the city train or whatever. It's totally different. You want to create a personalized journey, and this one is really quite key in that. So we have privacy, permission, personalization. That's where you build your trust quotient. Now, over time, this is obviously important, right? It's not just about doing it once. Okay, there's a factor here. This is your trust quotient. Trust quotient. And as I said at the beginning, right now, we're at zero goose egg trust. We don't know you, don't like you, don't know who you are, don't know why you're in my Facebook feed, whatever the case may be, we're at 0%. And I did that backwards. And then we're at a 100% up here. Now what we need to consider is that this is over time. We need to look at it not just an instantaneous point, right? But how are we developing our trust over time? Are we, building in the factors that detract from our trust? Are we building in the factors that attract to our trust as well? And as we're trying to build this KLT, know, like trust, we need to make sure that we're in this zone. And really, the privacy, permission, and personalization. And if we're able to stay within the boundaries, within the constraints of what's important in these aspects, then that's how we build trust. And again, it's not going to happen over time. It doesn't matter if you have everything perfected with privacy, everything perfected with permission, and have a wonderful customer journey and personalize that. it doesn't matter. It's going to take some time to be able to do that, and that's what needs to be recognized as well. Cool. So that's that. Now quickly, just to close off, I think I'm closed off. But what's really important is to look at how do we actually put these in place, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we're in an expedition now. It's not a Disney story. It's not a Disney fairy tale. It's an expedition. To understand that this is a mountain climb for us. All right, so this is the Expedition 2020. We have to think of it as it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a struggle to get us here, right? We need to be able to grow as a business, we need to be able to prepare, we need to be able to understand what's important, what's not important, how to do things, what strategies do you need, what tactics do you need as well. And if we look at it, we need a bunch of base camps as well to be able to get there. We can't just jump there, right? That's not an expedition, that's a safari, right? We need to be able to have specific jump points. And this first one is the trust quotient. So this is our KLT right at the beginning. So we need somewhere. This is one of the many steps that we need to be able to build our expedition to get to where we want to go. And what baseline do we need for that? We need a foundation, a strong foundation. And what's that foundation based on in today's chaotic economy and that sort of thing? We need our brand value. We also need our experience. We need to be able to create a digital experience. And we need to be able to deliver digital. And if we don't have these, 1, 2, and 3, our brand value, if we don't have a remarkable experience worth remembering, and if we're not being able to deliver that anytime, any place with digital, we don't have this foundation. So we're not going to be able to get to our first step. We're not going to be able to get to the second step and transition from there. So hopefully that's good. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Just to close, just quickly wrap up. If you do have any comments or questions, please ask them throughout the week as well. There's lots going on and learning things and doing live streaming and that sort of thing. Trying to get business done, whatever the case may be. So I wish you all the best in that. If you do have questions or comments, please get in touch. Please connect with me below. There's some ways to connect as well. And as I said, if you do have a good question, please look at. I'm going to take 2 of the best questions and send you a paperback copy as well. The PDF version, there's a link there as well, a bit.ly link as well. So hopefully that's been good. If you do have any questions, like I said, please get in touch. Happy to let you know how things are going, and I hope everything's well out there. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I will see you online. Thank you.